Admiral Koresh of the Zephyrian Concordat stood before the massive view screen, watching the primitive blue world spin lazily in the void. Earth. Such an unremarkable name for such a troublesome planet. The orbital blockade had been in place for 57 standard cycles now, a ring of ships that ensured no human vessel could escape their solar system. "Status report," Koresh commanded, his elongated fingers drumming against the command console. "All stations report normal, Admiral. No human activity detected beyond their asteroid mining operations." The tactical officer's voice carried the usual note of boredom. After decades of watching humans bash rocks together in space, the assignment had lost its initial novelty. Koresh nodded. The humans had been remarkably quiet since the blockade began. Too quiet, perhaps, but their technology was laughably primitive. Chemical rockets, nuclear fusion drives, technologies the Concordat had abandoned millennia ago. What could they possibly accomplish? The blockade had been necessary, of course. When the humans first achieved interstellar communication and began broadcasting their existence to the galaxy, the response had been swift and unanimous among the established civilizations. These newcomers were different, dangerous in ways that transcended mere military might. They bred faster than Kandorians, thought more laterally than Vorthians, and displayed a disturbing tendency toward innovation that made even the ancient Arxians nervous. The Galactic Council's solution had been elegant: contain them. Let them develop within their own system, but deny them access to the greater galaxy until they either evolved beyond their aggressive tendencies or destroyed themselves. Most species' betting pools favored the latter outcome. "Admiral," the communications officer's voice cracked with sudden urgency, "I'm detecting massive energy signatures from the human asteroid belt." Koresh's four eyes narrowed as he turned toward the tactical display. Indeed, something was happening near the asteroid designated Ceres by the humans. Energy readings were climbing exponentially, reaching levels that shouldn't be possible with human technology. "Get me a visual," he ordered. The view screen shifted, zooming in on the largest asteroid in the belt. What they saw defied explanation. The humans had hollowed out the entire asteroid, converting it into something that looked disturbingly familiar to anyone versed in galactic history. "By the void," whispered the tactical officer. "Is that a stellar gateway?" Koresh finished, his voice hollow. But that was impossible. Gateway technology was the most closely guarded secret in the galaxy, known only to the founding members of the Concordat. The mathematics alone required computational power that the energy readings spiked. Space around Ceres began to twist and fold, reality bending in ways that hurt to observe directly. Then, with a flash of light that temporarily blinded their sensors, a massive ring of exotic matter stabilized in space, a portal large enough for dreadnoughts to pass through. "Sir," the communications officer reported, voice shaking, "we're receiving a transmission from Earth, text only." "Put it on screen." The words that appeared were simple, written in the common galactic script. "Thank you for the motivation. We'll be in touch." Humanity Koresh watched in growing horror as human ships began emerging from their planet, but not the crude chemical rockets they'd been expecting. These vessels moved with the fluid grace of gravitic drives, their hulls gleaming with the telltale shimmer of exotic matter containment fields, technologies that should have taken them centuries to develop. "How?" The word escaped his lips unbidden. As if in answer, another message appeared. "You wanted to know what humans do when cornered? We innovate. While you watched our miners in the asteroid belt, our scientists were working. 57 years of isolation gave us time to think. Time to study the gravitational wake signatures your ships leave behind. Time to reverse engineer your technology from sensor readings alone. Time to build what you tried to keep from us. We observed that your blockade ships maintained position using gravitic anchors. We analyzed the subspace fluctuations of your faster-than-light communications. We mapped the quantum signatures of your sensor arrays. Every day you sat out there watching us, you gave us more data to work with. Did you really think a species that went from wooden ships to spaceflight in less than a century would simply accept imprisonment? More ships poured through the gateway. Not just military vessels, but massive colony ships, exploration craft, and mobile industrial platforms. The humans weren't just breaking free. They were launching a full-scale exodus. Admiral, his tactical officer's voice was barely a whisper. Long-range sensors are detecting similar gateway signatures appearing throughout the galaxy. They're everywhere. Koresh slumped in his command chair as the reports flooded. Inhuman gateways materializing in the Vega system, near the Centauri colonies at the edge of concordate space itself. In a single day, humanity had gone from contained primitives to a galactic presence that rivaled civilizations millions of years older. A final message appeared on their screens. We harbor no ill will toward those who feared us. Perhaps that fear was justified, but understand this. Humanity doesn't ask permission to exist. We don't require your approval to reach for the stars. You tried to cage us and instead taught us to build better cages for ourselves, ones with doors that open outward. The galaxy is vast enough for all of us. We hope you agree. But if not, well, you've seen what we can accomplish when motivated. As the last human ship passed through their self-built gateway, Koresh could only stare at the now empty space where humanity's prison had stood. In trying to contain the humans, they had given them the greatest gift possible, a reason to surpass every limitation placed upon them. The blockade had failed not because they lacked the strength to maintain it, but because they had fundamentally misunderstood their quarry. Humans, it seemed, didn't just adapt to obstacles, they transformed them into stepping stones. The galaxy would never be the same.